मले तरी मला निष्ठा
महामंगले येशूरंगी मले तरी मला निष्ठा
सम्यक ज्ञानी गुरु स्वतःच्या होता माझा अनुदान
सम्यक ज्ञानी गुरु स्वतःचा मोठा माझा अनुदान
निर्भय बनवी वाचलाय तुका साक्षी मीच स्वतःच्या
निर्भय बनवी वाचलाय तुका
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, I have to tell you that truth is what it is. You cannot change it, you cannot conceptualize it. You cannot know it, unfortunately, at this human awareness. A little bit more of your evolutionary process has to take place. You have been already told about the centers that we have within ourselves and how we get our self-realization. Regarding this, I have to say that you should not believe me, whatever I have to say, blindfolded. We have had enough of problems with blindfolded faiths. But you must keep your mind open like a scientist. Because whatever I say is proved, then you have to accept it as honest people, because it is for the benevolence of your being, benevolence of your family, benevolence of your city, of your country, and the whole world. Today the problems we are facing, all kinds of problems, are due to the jeopardy of these centers. When these centers go into trouble, we have problems at human level. And the problems of the world are mostly because of human beings. If by some means we know about these, we become aware of it. Knowing is not just in a lecture, but to be aware of it. And if you know how to correct it, then you are all right. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you are all right. So the truth is that you are not this body, this mind, these emotions, intellect, or your ego, your conditionings, but you are the pure spirit. This is the first truth about you. Secondly, we see here beautiful flowers all over, and we take them for granted. We never even think that it's a miracle. The way these flowers are produced of different varieties by the Mother Earth is very surprising. We never think about it. Another thing is that we never ask the question, who runs our heart? And if you ask doctors, they'll say, it's the autonomous nervous system that does it. But who is this auto? We never ask this question. It's very surprising that we don't ask questions about living processes, how it works out, how the living processes work out. And that is the essence of human life, life at large, anywhere. This happening, as is described to you, of this power within you, is very easy, sahaj. Saha means born, ja means with. Saha is with and ja is born. Sahaj means born with you the right to be one with this all-pervading power which does all the living work. So there is a subtle power which is extremely dynamic. It's described in every scripture. It's described as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. It is described also the all-pervading power of divine love. It is described as Ruh. It is described as Param Chaitanya. Patanjali had described him as Rutambara Prakya. All the scriptures have described this power which is subtle, which we have never felt before. So the second important truth is that there is an all-pervading power of divine love, which we have not felt so far, to which we have to be united. And this is what is Sahaja Yoga, is born with you is the right to be one with this yoga, the union with this divine power, which does all vital work. It is the ocean of knowledge. Actually, we know very little, as you know that our brain is limited. It's the ocean of compassion, ocean of blessings, but above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. So we torture ourselves, sometimes feeling guilty. Also sometimes by feeling the anger and not forgiving people. We torture ourselves. But as this is the ocean of forgiveness, we have to know whatever we might do can be forgiven by this ocean, can be dissolved. I have to tell you that this is your own power. This is your own, innate within you. It is there, is your own power, and it is in this triangular bone which is called as sacrum. And surprisingly, Greeks knew it was a sacred bone, they called it sacrum. So this sacrum bone contains in every human being this wonderful power, which is a reflection of the primordial power that we call as the primordial mother. As we turn towards science, what we find, it cannot answer many questions. For example, science cannot say why are we on this earth? What is the purpose of our life? And we are seeking our identity. The other day they told me that people try to commit suicide to have name in the newspaper. All kinds of things are done for identity. They wear all kinds of dresses, they wear all kinds of funny fads. Going about for identity. What is our identity? Is that we are the spirit. And that is within us, every human being has that power. And once we achieve that state of spirit, you understand many things which you could never understand otherwise. The first and foremost thing you understand that you become part and parcel of the divine power, that you are blessed by it. It starts running through you, you can feel it, and you are empowered to do things which you could never do. For example, when it starts flowing in your fingertips, you can feel the different centers within you for self-knowledge and also the centers of others. So you develop a new dimension that we call as collective consciousness. That your awareness, which is very mundane and superficial, suddenly becomes collective. And you start feeling on your fingertips the centers of others. Thus you know what's wrong with others is. Then you don't talk about the dress or the face, but you say that this Kundalini, this gentleman has these centers which are out of gear and they are to be put right. And once you understand that, how to correct them, then you can also correct other centers. It's such a blessing for us that a human being who doesn't think much of himself, that's why he tries to find identity. I always give an example. Supposing you take a television set in a very remote corner of India where they have never seen something like that, and tell them that this box can show you some films from abroad. They'll say this box. In the same way, we also think about ourselves. Ourselves, we think we are just ordinary boxes. We are not. We are very glorious, very powerful, and we are the ones who can change all that is dangerous, destructive. But for that, you have to develop a correct vision and a proper understanding of what you are. So when you become the spirit, the first thing that happens to you, as I told you, that you become collectively conscious. The second thing that happens to you, that your thoughts, which were all the time coming from the past and the future. If I tell you, go to your present, you cannot. You cannot enter into your present. So these thoughts which are coming from the past and the future are all the time disturbing you. And you are jumping on the cusp of these thoughts. But when this Kundalini rises, she elongates those thoughts. In between is the area which we call as the pause or vilamba, where your attention goes and you become silent. No thoughts, but you are fully aware. So achieve a state which we call as thoughtless awareness, about which Jung has talked. Thoughtless awareness, where you are without any thoughts in the present. That's the reality. Present is the reality, not the future, not the past. So you stand in that area which is peace for us. So, in the area that is peace within ourselves, when you arrive, you become absolutely peaceful. All the stress, strain of life finishes off, and you become absolutely peaceful. And this peace comes to you so beautifully. You drop so many years of your age. You become dynamic, you become compassionate, you work very hard, you travel, but it doesn't show, it doesn't work on. It just is outside which you witness, see it as a witness. Like a drama, as you see, the witnessing of the drama of this world, nature, all kinds of things that you see is a drama. Thus you become extremely peaceful. I know of people who have got awards of peace, who have foundations of peace, all kinds of things. But they are horribly hot-tempered, horribly. If you have to talk to them, you must approach them with a barge pole. Otherwise, very dangerous. They are extremely hot-tempered people. You can't talk to them. I don't know how they have become people who are supposed to be symbol of peace. But those who do not have any peace within cannot emit peace outside. So this area, which I call as the area of peace, exists within you. Once that is established, you will be amazed how many things can happen to you. Firstly, what happens to you? You can sleep very well. You are always fresh. And also your memory improves. That is the greatest thing that happens, that your memory improves. Then your relationship with others also improves. Your relationship with others improves because you are so peaceful. Another person who comes to you sees your peace and enjoys it. Now, it is very important to understand that we have that peace within ourselves. And this state of Nirvichar Samadhi, as they call them, was very difficult once upon a time to achieve. People had to go to Himalayas, stand on their heads, take up a guru, and one person would get realization. A guru will give only to one. I mean real guru, because we have lots of false people all around these days marketing everything. It cannot be marketed, one must understand. It's a spiritual awakening which is spontaneous, it's a living process, and you cannot pay for it. How much do we pay to Mother Earth for creating these flowers? So we cannot pay for it. Of course, you can pay for the hall, that's different. But you can't pay for your self-realization and for achievement in your spirituality. People have forgotten that they are spirits. They don't believe that they are spirits. They just think that this body and this body has to vanish one day. That's not true. This body is guarded, is looked after, is nourished, witnessed by your spirit. So once you get this realization, you get your attention enlightened. Now Christ has said, "Thou shalt not have adulterous eyes." I mean, it's a very subtle thing to say. In the Christian nations, how many people can you find who have such eyes? Very seldom. And really with this happening, people develop those subtle, innocent eyes, which are very powerful. Even a glance of such an eye can bring such peace, such solace. Also, it can cure people. It can help them. So what Christ has said can be today brought in, that our eyes can become innocent. It's such a troublesome thing to have eyes which are roving all the time here and there. It really kills your attention, kills your attention. By the time you are 50 years, you are already a gaga person, or if not at 60 you will be. Because the attention is all the time going from here to there to there to there, of no avail. It's just a mad race. Now, all our paradoxical culture that we see around, which is really tremendous, because I don't know how we can tolerate all this. Every day you read in the newspaper, a husband kills the wife and wife kills the husband, the children kill the parents kill the children. I mean, what's going on? Doesn't even happen among animals. Why should we become so violent? Why should we be so unnatural, devilish? Some of the things are really devilish. And persons who are good, who are righteous, are shocked by the things that are happening around. They can't understand how these things are taking place, and all the time they suffer from a sense of insecurity. All these things happen because of these chakras being out of gear. You will be amazed that they have gone so far that I don't know, if you allow these things to go on, there will be a complete destruction. It is said within 10 years, 65% Americans will become schizophrenic. Can you imagine? This all comes from where? They said it comes from modern life, modern times. But who has brought the modern times? We have brought the modern times. It is our creation. We can say the media has done it, or we can blame anyone we like. But the effect is there, and a very dangerous effect of violence, of hatred. All kinds of horrible things are happening in this world. Now, what we have to see in this paradoxical culture is, what is missing is they do not have the idea of truth. They don't know, we have to know the absolute truth. If we all know the same truth, there will be no quarrel, no fight, no arguments, no violence, nothing. But we don't know the absolute truth. Somebody says this is right, another says this is right, another says what's wrong? What's wrong if I kill my mother? What's wrong? How can you say what's wrong? All sorts of absurd things really are justified by this brain, human brain, at any level. So one has to think about it, why it happened. Now, when we look at anything, see, now I'm sitting before you, all of you can see I'm sitting before you, there's no question, there's no argument, there's no discussion about it. In the same way, if you can know the absolute truth, all of you the same thing, there won't be any problem either. Now, how will you know is on your fingertips. It's English language is very good for that, to say on your fingertips. These are our 5, 6 and 7 sympathetic centers, 5, 6 and 7 sympathetic system. The right hand is for our physical and for our mental. I mean, mental is a very disturbed word in English language. I should say for our intellect and whatever work we do through thinking and brain. And the left side is for emotions. Emotions. So we have two sympathetic nervous systems in our body, which are shown here clearly, and they are related to our right side and to our left side. This action through these two sympathetic nervous systems takes place only during emergencies. And we live with emergency. All the time in modern times we live with emergency. Thus we develop all kinds of diseases. If we could somehow or other pacify our nerves, and if we could really be in the center where we are neither in the future or in the past, we can really enjoy every moment of our life. So the second thing that happens to you is that you know the absolute truth on your fingertips. Means you know what your sentence you are catching. Somebody comes and tells me, Mother, my agya is catching is this one, on the optic chiasma. Now if you want to know what does that mean, that means, Mother, I am suffering from ego. But nobody would say that. Unless and until you can see your ego, you will never say, I am suffering from ego. A man who has ego, do you mean Hitler would say that I am suffering from ego? He wouldn't. So you have to see yourself very clearly. And once you start seeing yourself very clearly, you understand what's wrong with you. And that state comes to you very easily and as an absolute truth. You make one person sit before 10 children who are realized souls and tie up their eyes and ask them what's wrong with this person. They all will raise the same fingers. Same fingers. That means they are all telling the same thing, the same truth, the absolute truth. Sitting down here, you can find out about anyone you want to know. You want to find out about anybody who is dead. You can on your fingertips know that person, what's wrong with him. You know about yourself and you know about them. And if you know how to correct it, you have corrected yourself and you have corrected them. It looks fantastic. It appears something out of the blue, and for people it's something they can't understand. But you are that. You are that. As I told you, that we always think we are just a box. It's not so. You have all these qualities within you, but too much of ego, too much of conditioning, and also too much of mundane, superficial life that really makes it very much low, and you don't just see the superficial things. That's not so. God Almighty has created us to be very happy, very joyous people, to enter into His kingdom. Not to make us miserable, not to make us unhappy, and to divide us on different levels of mental projections. No. It is actually, in reality, we are all one part and parcel of one divine love. But that is only possible when you become the Spirit. Otherwise, it's just a sermon or a lecture. By that, you are not even connected to the all-pervading power, and you cannot find out what's wrong with you, what's wrong with others, and what's wrong with the whole world. For that knowledge to be innate within you, whatever knowledge we have is only bookish knowledge. And we really get involved into the web of words. Words. They go on reading books after books and you don't know what to do with them. They cannot see between the lines what is written. And they do not want to know because they are quite satisfied with what they are reading is according to them is the best and whatever interpretation they have is the best. But are you peaceful? Are you all right? Are you above illnesses? Are you full of compassion? Are you relaxed? No. There's something missing. Why shouldn't we have that? And that is because we have to seek. And we seek the truth. Once we seek the truth, we find it. It is necessary first to find the truth and then to talk about it. Before that, it's just a mental projection and has no meaning, just a mental feat going on. I've seen people sitting down around the table, thousands of them had such kind of experiences and discussing this and that and finding nothing. So something has to happen within us. And the happening is the awakening of this Kundalini, this force. She has to ascend through these 6 centers and pierce through fontanelle bone area to be connected to this subtle force. As this instrument has to be connected to the mains, otherwise it has no meaning. In the same way we have no meaning unless and until we are connected to that force. And this is what we have to do. It is something so simple. It has to be because it is so vital. Supposing for our breathing we had to go to libraries to read about breathing, what would have happened to us? Today it is so vital that we should have this happening within us and that we should know ourselves, by which we should know the whole world. By knowledge I do not mean the knowledge through books, but I am meaning the knowledge on our central nervous system. For that, in Sanskrit there are 2 words. One is Buddha, Bodh, from where the Buddha has come, Bodh. Bodh is to know everything on your central nervous system. And the second word is Vida, from which Vedas have come. And the first verse of Vedas is that by reading this book, if you do not get your self-realization, it is useless to read Vedas. Whole essence of Vedas is put there. So what we have to do is now to just to know that we have this power. It is within us and is all going to work out. Apart from that, what happens? You enter into a very miraculous world of blessings. Such blessings that you cannot explain. People write to me, Mother, this happened, that happened, and such a miracle, this how I got rid of this problem and that problem. And so I told somebody, why don't you try to record them? Within 1 month, she said, they have come up to my head now. I don't know which one to record. Now, will you please, Mother, read it and tell me what to do? I said, Baba, I have no time. Traveling, I have no time. Will you please give up the idea of writing those miracles? So that's what happens. And you jump into the ocean of joy. Joy is not happiness and unhappiness. You see, when we have ego, it is pampered, we feel very happy. When it is punctured, we feel unhappy. But this is joy, that you are eternally in a state of enjoyment. And everybody can find out. Then you realize what is wrong and what is right. You develop a divine discretion and you just drop out whatever is destructive. You'll be amazed, we are fighting drugs at this level, that level. Nothing to be done. You just get your realization. In England, you'll be surprised, so many of them, just after realization, over the night, they forgot about drugs, forgot completely, gave it up. Alcoholism, this, that, all these things they dropped without even thinking about them. I didn't tell them, I never tell don't. I never tell them 10 commandments, because if you tell in these modern times, nobody would sit here. But once they see for themselves what's wrong, they just stop it. The seeing is the being, you become. I give an example of a snake in the hand, and it's darkness, you can't see. The person, if he's adamant, he'll say, oh, it's not snake, it's just a rope I'm holding on to. Till the snake bites, it will go on like that. But if there is little light, then you see the snake and you just drop it out by yourself. Nobody has to tell you. You become your own guide, your own master, and drop it. You don't need anybody to tell you, just drop it yourself. Thus your life is on the proper lines and you move on the proper lines. We have to be sensitive about it. That's the main point I find. Because of this paradoxical culture, again I say, people are very insensitive. We think people are very advanced, but they don't know. All this advancement, all this big pomp and show of cultures has no roots, is rotting. We have the knowledge of science, this, that, but we haven't got the knowledge of the roots, and this is the knowledge of the roots that we have to have if we have to save ourselves. As you know very well that Sahaja Yoga is working out in 62 nations, especially in Russia and Eastern blocs. Of course in India it is because they know about it. But Russia and Eastern bloc people, I was surprised because they are not so materialistic. They are not so much worried about material things. They are, 70% of them are very spiritual. It's very surprising. They are very introspective, and they threw away all the false gurus who prospered everywhere in the West. They gave away, they threw them out. None of them could be successful. I was surprised how they were sensitive to Sahaja Yoga, which I know is the real thing. And all this falsehood has taken people away. Like this time I went to America, they were complaining about one Mr. Pradeep something, Chopra, that he has taken so much money from them, the children have gone out of the houses and we don't know what to do. Then first time when I went, they were telling me about TM and this and that and all that. All this Guru, Rajneesh, this, that. But I said, why did you go to him? I can't understand. Because he was claiming this and that. I said, whatever one may claim. First of all, you must see the disciples, how they are behaving, what sort of life they lead. Are they righteous people? Or they are the gangsters and you think that their guru is great because they have become gangsters? So many people have lost their houses, have lost their children. I mean, horrible things have happened with these false gurus. And I'm sorry to say this has come from my country, India. Not all, so many of them they are still going on everywhere. Like the other day I met some with the born again. Horrible looking people, shouting, screaming, I don't know, and all wrinkled. So I said, young people. I asked, are you born again? They said, yes. I said, I don't think. You're not. See, your faces look like hawks. How can you be born again? Your faces show that you are not born again. It's just a label you have got, as you have got a label of one thing to say that I am a Christian, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim. This is the worst because you have taken a certificate saying as if you are born again. But if you are born again, then you have powers. You behaving like hooligans here, how can you call yourself born again with such hawk-like faces that you have? There's no peace, there's nothing. Nothing of Christ in you. You are not connected to Christ. You are not connected to God. You have to be connected to Him. Otherwise you will not know what you are doing. Everybody thinks if they go to church. I was also born in a Christian family and I was surprised how they believe that they are Christians. You have to be connected. And He has said it. He has said it many a times that you are to be born again. So you get this kind of born agains all around the places doing nothing and just making lots of money. I don't know what they are doing. It has to be genuine. If it is genuine, it should show results, and it should show results in the disciples, how they are, how they behave. Are they humble people? Are they righteous people? Are they people with character? Do they respect their chastity, which Christ has very much clearly said? But that is not so. We have seen all smugglers in India are disciples of all these gurus. How can you be smugglers if you belong to some spiritual movement? Spirit makes you clean, washes off all your sins, it washes off all your, I should say, the evil ideas that you have. And you become a beautiful person because you are beautiful. It's like the sun covered with the clouds. Once the clouds are removed, then you are shining like a sun. And this should happen tonight. And I hope it will happen to all of you. Today is my last day in Australia. I'm going away. Every year I come here. We have very good, strong Sahajogis. Even in Brisbane we have very good people. They are not showy, they don't wear funny dresses, nothing of the kind. They are just like normal people. And they are intelligent, they can talk to you about Sahaja Yoga, they can tell you all about it without any ego, without any aggression. If you want, you can have it. So your freedom is respected. If you want to go to hell, all right. If you want to go to heaven, all right. It's your want, it's your desire, because this power is the power of pure desire. If you have the pure desire to ascend, then only it will work. All other desires are not pure. You want to have, say for example, you want to have a house, you will have a house, then want to have a car, then an aeroplane, I don't know what else. But nothing satisfies, because all these desires are not pure. Whether you are aware or not, you are having the desire to be one with this all-pervading power, which is the pure desire. And I'm sure it will work out tonight with the people, as I see you here so anxious to get your self-realization. I know you all are very anxious, as well as there are some who have questions, and they would like to ask questions. Now what I would like to tell you that I have been doing this work for the last 25 years. You know, my age is now 71, maybe 26 years, I should say. And what I find that I know all kinds of answers to all kinds of stupid questions. Because I have mastered it now. But that's just a mental feats. Why waste energy on that, you see? You better get your realization first and then you ask me questions, I don't mind. First thing is to get to the light, to know yourself. This is what is the thing for which you are here. You are not here just for some sort of a party or something, but to get to know yourself, which is so important from every angle. I would like to tell you there are 4 doctors in Delhi who have got their MD with Sahaja Yoga. Different diseases, they took one each, and they have shown that Sahaja Yoga cures people. It does. It has cured so many people. It has helped many people who have been going astray, who have been doing wrong things in their life. It has brought them to right path. And if you want to save your life, you have to think about it seriously. What have you been doing so far has not helped you, has not answered anything. So those who want Sahaja Yoga, those who want to become self-realized, are requested to stay in the hall, but those who do not want, I cannot force. So if you don't want, it won't work, and it's just a waste of time and energy. So I would request you to leave the hall so that others do not get disturbed by it. If you want to have this, your self-realization, then you are welcome, very much welcome to stay here. It will hardly take 10 minutes. And you are all capable of getting it. But of course, you cannot give realization to a madman or to an idiot, you know. There are many mad people also nowadays going around. But of course, for anybody who is a normal person, you can get it. There are 3 conditions. The first condition is that you are not to feel guilty of anything at this moment. It's a fashion to feel guilty. It's really a fashion. What's use of feeling guilty? I mean, people feel guilty because they spilled the coffee or something like that. Just torturing yourself for nothing at all. So you have to respect. I would say you have to be pleasantly placed towards yourself. As in Sanskrit we call prasanna chit. Know that you are a human being. You are at the epitome of evolution. And why should we all the time, because we have freedom to do whatever we like to ourselves, go on feeling guilty for this and guilty for that? It's a myth. Second myth we carry is, if I say that you have to forgive everyone, they say it's very difficult. Now logically just think about it. Whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. What do? Nothing. But if you don't forgive, then mentally you play into wrong hands. You torture yourself. In the first case, when you feel guilty, this center goes out of order, this one here on the left. And you develop diseases like angina, spondylitis, lethargic organs. With the second one, when you do not forgive, this center on the optic chiasma in the brain is like this, absolutely like this. Absolutely constricted. But when you forgive, it opens out. Because it's another myth with which you are torturing yourself. As it is, you have tortured yourself for others. Those who have troubled you are very happy people. But you are troubling yourself by not forgiving. And by not forgiving, you will not allow this center to open. And the Kundalini won't pass through. So you will miss such a great chance of becoming the self. So just don't think it is difficult. It's the easiest thing at this moment to say that I forgive everyone. Now don't think about them, because even to think about them is a headache. So best is to, in general, you have to say I forgive everyone. You will feel much lighter, I tell you. Now the third one is even easier. Because I assure you, I verily say, that you all should have self-confidence, full self-confidence, that you will get your realization tonight, today, now. Please have that self-confidence, it's very important. Now don't think about I committed that sin, that thing. All these ideas have come to you from human beings, not from divine. Why believe them? I have committed this sin and that sin and those, I am such a great sinner and this. Go and confess the sins. All nonsense. You are a human being, respected by the divine. And you have to enter into the kingdom of God. So please understand, don't try to condemn yourself, but be full confident. These three conditions are there, which are very, I think, are simple, logical, and very much needed for your realization. And if you value yourself, then please do that. You have no business to devalue yourself. Let the divine decide. Let the Kundalini decide. Why are you bothered? If this is the last judgment, let the Kundalini decide. I think this is the blossom time, where I have seen thousands and thousands blossoming and then becoming the fruits. I have seen. So that's how, what I have to assure you, that you will all get your self-realization, only have your self-confidence. Last of all, we have to know that it is not an individual thing. Now you will feel very much better after realization. I know you will just feel very happy, see, on top of the world. But this connection has to be fixed. For that, I would request you that you should come to our collective. Now it's not like a lecture, introductory lecture, free and then you charge money. It's not like that. You won't be charged any money. For all this knowledge, you won't be charged. Please come to the collective and then grow into it, and you can master the whole art within 1 month's time, maximum. You can become your own master. You can master the art of Sahaja Yoga, by which you can give realization to others and achieve that last state which we call as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where there is no doubts about yourself. And you know all these powers, and you know how to raise them, and you know how to give realizations to others. Like one enlightened light, well enlightened, can enlighten other lights. In the same way, you can go on giving realization to others and enjoying this great gift that you have got. It's all there just to get it. But you have to come to the collective in a humble way, because we don't have big palaces for meditation. No, we have simple places. And then you will be surprised how to be in meditation, not to do meditation, but we have to be in meditation, where you are silent, you are in the present. In this small lecture, whatever possible I have tried to tell you, but it's full of knowledge. I think there must be about 4,000 tapes of my lecture, about 4,000 in English language, apart from other languages. So you all can make avail of it and you can enjoy it. It's all available to you. Look at these children. You know, to an Englishman to teach one word of Hindi was a headache. We couldn't tell them. They couldn't pronounce it properly. But look at them. They are singing Sanskrit songs, Marathi songs, Hindi songs, with all the tunes and everything, rhythm. You won't believe the Indians, if they'll hear, they will be surprised. And India, it happened, they were so shocked. So many artists said, Mother, we must touch their feet. I said, why? In such a short time, have they learned it? It's the power of spirit. They become so dynamic, so creative, so wonderful. There are so many things that happen. I would say it's a temptation of the mother. Like in England, no Sahajogi is unemployed, where millions are unemployed. Not one. Everybody has gained, because your attention becomes all right, you become so dynamic. You see, with this attention which is so enlightened, you can decide, you know everything, and you can manage things. And so every way you are helped, every way. So again, now I was saying that sometimes people don't like it when I tell them that they have to take out their shoes. It's not too much to take out the shoes, please, because this Mother Earth helps us a lot, if you don't mind. I have to make a request that for about 10 minutes till we have this procedure, because I am going to tell you how to make your chakras activated yourself. During that time, please, nobody should leave the hall disturbing others. If you want to leave, you should leave now. In between is it's not courteous, it's not fair. So please see that if you have to go, you can go. There's no need to bother about it. It's all right. Nobody should come inside or outside, because that will disturb others. Now first we'll show you how we are going to work it out. And then you will have to close your eyes and do it the way I will tell you what is to be said. So first, remember that there are two powers, left and right. So we have to put both the feet apart from each other, but those who are sitting on the ground are all right. They don't have to bother. Put the left hand towards me. So as you know, the left side is the power of mundane desire. So we are desirous that we should have our realization, and that's why you're putting the left hand towards me, expressing symbolically that you want to have your self-realization. Now please understand that we'll work out with the right hand, because the right hand is for the action. First we have to put our right hand on our heart. Keep your eyes open and see for yourself. In the heart resides the Spirit. In the heart resides the Spirit. And if you become the Spirit, you become your own master in the light of the Spirit. You become your own master. So please take your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen. On the left hand side, we are working only on the left hand side. This is the center of your mastery. Was created by great prophets and masters. So this is to be awakened within us, which is in the upper portion of abdomen on the left hand side. Please put your hand there. Now, please take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. Surprisingly, this is the center of pure knowledge. So low as that. This of pure knowledge, pure divine knowledge. Now raise your right hand again on the upper portion of your abdomen, on the left hand side. Then on your heart. Then in the corner of your neck and shoulder, and turn your head to your right. I have already told you what happens when this center is in trouble. When you feel guilty, then you develop all kinds of diseases. Now, please take your right hand on top of your forehead across. You can take out your spectacles if you want and put down your head as far as possible. This is the center where you have to forgive everyone in general without thinking about them. Now, please take your hand on the back side of your head and push back your head as far as possible. This is the center where, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, you have to ask forgiveness from the divine power. Now, you don't have to do it now, I'm just telling you. Now, stretch your palm fully and put the center of your palm on top of your head on the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now put your center there, bend your head as far as possible, and now move your scalp. By pushing back your fingers, you can pressurize better. Push back your fingers and now move your scalp 7 times slowly clockwise. Please put down your heads, put down your heads. Put down your heads, please. Now, do it. After putting down the head, you do it, it's better. 7 times. Push back your fingers clockwise. Please move clockwise. That's all we have to do, which is a very simple journey. Now, please again remember to put both your feet apart from each other. Put the left hand towards me comfortably. You are not to be uncomfortable at all. And then put your right hand on the heart. As I have told you that the Spirit resides in your heart, which is a reflection of God Almighty. So here you have to ask a very fundamental question about yourself. You may call me Mother or you can call me Shri Mataji, whatever you like. Please close your eyes and don't open them till I tell you. Please close them. Not tightly, lightly, you should just close them. Now, here you have to ask a question 3 times. Mother, am I the Spirit? Please ask the question. Mother, am I the Spirit? 3 times. In your heart. Please ask in your heart. I have told you that if you become the Spirit, you become your master, your guide. So take down your hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it. Here again a fundamental question about yourself you have to ask. Mother, am I my own master? Ask this question in your heart 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? I've already told you that I cannot cross over your freedom, and I cannot force pure divine knowledge on you. I cannot force it. So you have to ask for it. Now take down your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And here you have to ask 6 times because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure divine knowledge. Please ask 6 times. Once you ask for pure divine knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving like a primule in a seed upward. So you have to open your upper centers with full self-confidence. Raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. Here you have to say with full self-confidence 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. I have told you at the very outset that you are not this body, this mind, this intellect, these emotions, but you are the pure spirit. So raise your right hand on top of your heart, and here you have to say again with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the pure spirit. You have to say it 12 times, Mother, I am the pure spirit. I've already told you that this all-pervading power is the ocean of knowledge, ocean of compassion, ocean of blessings. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. So, please forgive yourself and raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn your head to your right. Here, you have to say with full confidence 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say it 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Logically, I have explained to you, whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands, especially at this time if you don't forgive. This Agya center won't open and the Kundalini won't pass through. So please remember that you have to forgive everyone without thinking about them. So now raise your right hand on top of your head and please put down your head. This is very important to put down your head. And here you have to say, from your heart, not how many times, Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Say it from your heart. Say it from your heart, not superficial. Now, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, you have to ask for forgiveness from this all-pervading divine power. So now take your right hand on the back side of your head. Push it back. Push it back as far as possible. And here you have to say, O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. This you have to say from your heart, not how many times again. O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Please say it from your heart. Now the last center is the most important, for which you have to stretch your palms fully. And put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now please bend your head and push back your fingers as far as possible. Push back your fingers. And now move your right hand. But before that, I have to say that I cannot force self-realization on you. So please bend your head, push back your fingers, and you have to ask for self-realization. So move your hand slowly clockwise 7 times, saying, Mother, please give me my self-realization. You have to ask 7 times. Please take down your hands. Open your eyes. You can wear your spectacles also. And put both the hands towards me like this. Little higher. Little higher. Now, please bend your head like this and put the left hand towards me, and with the right hand try to see if there's a hot or a cool breeze-like sensation coming from your fontanelle bone area. Now, don't doubt it, because your brain doesn't have an air conditioner. So please bend your head and see for yourself by moving your hand up and down. Sometimes you get it closer to the head or sometimes away, but don't put your hand on top of your head. Now, if it is hot, please bend your head. If it is hot, means you have not forgiven. So please forgive. Now you please put your right hand towards me and bend your head again and see for yourself if there is a cool or a hot breeze-like sensation coming from your fontanelle bone area. Now lastly, again bend your head and see with your right hand if there is a cool or a hot breeze-like sensation coming from your head. Even if it is hot, it's all right. But if you forgive, it will become cool. Please forgive. That's very important, to forgive. Now, please raise both your hands towards the sky like this. Bend back your head. And here you have to ask any one of these questions 3 times. Anyone. You can ask the question, Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? 3 times. Or, Mother, is this the all-pervading power of divine love? Or, Mother, is it Ru Param Chaitanya? Ask any one of these questions 3 times. Bend back your head and ask if it is 3 times. Now please take down your hands. Put your hands towards me like this. Watch me without thinking. Just watch me without thinking. All those who have felt cool or hot breeze on their fingertips or on their palms or out of their fontanelle bone area, please raise both your hands. I bow to you, all saints, you from Brisbane, all of you. May God bless you. It's tremendous. Now enjoy this peace. You cannot argue it out, you cannot fight it out. Just enjoy. And I just wish you a very enjoyable time. The mantra is enjoy, that's all. Nothing else is to be done. But please attend the programs which we have as a follow-on program. Please attend that program and see that you grow. Within 1 year's time, you'll be amazed that you belong to a universal life, which is so beautiful. And you have friends and brothers all over the world. They'll all help you. They are all with you. You become part and parcel of the whole. There will be an announcement about it and one little song. It's a small song, but it will help you a lot. You have to little bit clap and you'll see that it helps you. After realization, it's much better. The music plays a tremendous part.
Hey Harima, hey Antima, hey Harima, hey Antima, Jai Vanchile, Jai Dhutile, Jai Vanchile, Jai Dhutile, Kalpatuma, hey Adima, hey Antima, hey Adima, hey Namaadiche Akashatu, Shishirataya Manumasatu, Deshimrutatu Amruta, Purushottama, Hey Adima, Hey Antima, Hey Adima, Hey Antima, Jai Vanchile, Jai Dhutile, Kalpatuma, Hey Adima, Hey Antima, Hey Adima, Hey Antima. Tene tuze ke chali, aloruni janamatari, apara